15 reasons why friendship ends. Are you someone who puts friendship on top of everything else? Do you value your friends more than everyone else in your life, even your lover? If so, prepare yourself for a heartbreaking truth. Friendships are not immune to breakups, just like romantic relationships. Though it's not a common term, there is such a thing as an ex-friend. Since it's not as decisive as a romantic breakup, you may not even realize that you have broken up with your friends. Your friendship can end both abruptly and gradually. Now there's a harsher pill you must swallow. Getting back together with your friends is not as easy as getting back together with your ex-lover. If you're wondering why, then these 15 facts we're about to reveal can help you find the answer. Depending on the individual, some factors can contribute to your breakups, but these 15 reasons are the most common. Knowing these, you'll at least get the chance to prevent yours from ending. Number 1. You simply don't have time for each other. Whether it's a new lover, wedded life, job, activity, or something else that consumes more of your time, you may not realize that you no longer have time to maintain your friendship. Before, you had time to hang out every day after work or school, and maybe now you can only see each other on the weekends. Though some friendships are so strong that this type of change won't affect them significantly, yours may be in danger. You or your friend may need constant catching up to stay connected. A few days without talking to each other may lead you to drift apart. If you value your friendship more than anything else, it's time to revisit your schedule and try to squeeze in a lunch date or a trip with your besties. Number 2. You no longer have anything in common. Most of us make connections through doing fun and interesting activities together. Let's say you met your friend at a basketball game. Since then, the two of you have played many games together on weekdays and went to watch professional games side by side on weekends. What happened if one of you lost interest in basketball? Or if you simply just don't feel like doing it anymore? It could start with skipping one game, and the next thing you know, you don't watch or go to basketball games anymore. If you have more than one thing in common with your friends, you're in luck. You can leave one behind and do other things you both like. Unfortunately, many of us base our friendships only on a few things in common, and when they gradually disappear, the friendship slowly loses its spark. Number 3. Unresolved issues. Nobody likes conflict. In fact, as mammals, we are built with instincts to avoid conflict. Not that we're cowards, but it's simply a survival thing. The more conflict you face, the higher your chance of getting hurt. Because of this, many of us tend to repress our true feelings for what we think is a greater good. Instead of speaking up against something we disagree with, we tend to let it slide for the sake of avoiding conflict or because we don't want to hurt others' feelings, which in this case is your friend. This may seem like a good idea, but with time and more issues left unresolved, it can be cancer to your friendship. But like cancer, there is a chance to fight it. Number 4. Trust issues. Telling white lies to suppress unresolved issues is one thing, but lying and breaking your friend's trust is another. If there's one thing you cannot lose in any relationship, it's trust. Though you may forgive one's mistake, regaining the trust it breaks is more difficult than you think, even if you've been friends for years. Having trust issues with your friend is like building a wall between the two of you. The longer you act like nothing happened, the higher that wall is going to be. One day it will reach a point where you're no longer comfortable being around each other. Number 5. You're keeping secrets from one another. Things like trust issues can lead to hesitation in telling your friends a secret, or it can come from something as simple as not finding the reason to share it with anyone else, even your closest friend. Though the decision is entirely up to you, this secret keeping may mean a lot more to your friends than to yourself, and vice versa. They may wonder why you haven't told them, or if there's anything wrong with your relationship that you won't share your secret. Even if you did not mean to keep secrets from each other, the longer you keep them, the harder it might be to share them, and the further you'll be emotionally apart. Number 6. Unreciprocated actions. How would you feel if your boyfriend or girlfriend does not love you as much as you love them? And what if they don't treat you on the same level as you're treating them? Many psychology studies have shown that more than 50% of human beings would react to both cases with negativity. The most common reaction is disappointment. For some, those cases lead to questioning their own worth in the relationship. This applies to all types of emotion-based relationship, including friendship. Number 7, too much negativity. Unresolved issues, trust issues, disappointment towards unreciprocated actions, or all of the above can create negativity between you and your friend. Needless to say, this will ruin your friendship, either altogether or bit by bit. The next thing you know, you just don't want to be around each other anymore. Number 8, you no longer benefit each other. Think back to when you just started becoming friends. Was it because they helped you with work, study? Perhaps they made good company during trips? Or were they simply a fun addition to your life? Now imagine if they can't help you, can't accompany you on trips, or they are simply not fun anymore to be around with. Would you still befriend them? If so, how long would that non-beneficial relationship last? Number 9, you've grown to be different people. As an individual, each and every one of us is capable of change, especially as we grow up or grow old. So are you and your friend. You two may grow to be completely different people. This may lead you to not having anything in common or not feeling the same way about one another. Unlike the negative issues we mentioned before, this one does not lay the blame on anyone. Number 10, you developed different views of the world. Even when you two grew to be different people, chances are you can still handle having different hobbies, interests, or any other activities that you care about. But if you end up having different perspectives, or even worse, the opposite ideas on significant matters, it could be the deal breaker. Number 11, the distance between you is too much. What is the definition of a good friend? Someone who's always there for you? Someone who is with you through the ups and downs? Now, what if they can't be there for you anymore because they had to move to another place? What if you live in different time zones and catching up is more challenging than before? Unfortunately, physical distance equals emotional distance for some people, and mostly it has nothing to do with how strong your friendship was when you were living nearby. For some, it's just what it is. Number 12, reality does not meet your expectations. MIT once conducted research on how humans assess people around them. The result is quite stunning and disappointing. We actually have poor perception when it comes to assessing who our friends actually are, and this research is backed by another study conducted by Tel Aviv University. So what does this mean? In the worst case, you might think you are friends with someone, but they merely see you as an acquaintance. In a more common case, they don't value your friendship as much as you do. Number 13, new players have entered the game. The most common reason behind our poor perception is the existence of other people in your or your friend's life. Maybe you two were best friends, but they or you make new friends somewhere along the way. It's not impossible that their new friendships or yours offer more than your previous one. Number 14, you've lost interest in one another. Sad but true. Sometimes you just stop looking forward to spending time together. The reason could be any of the previously mentioned reasons. It's pretty much the friend version of I just don't love you anymore. If you're lucky, this phase will only last for a short period, but unfortunately for some, this could lead to the end of the road. Number 15, it costs too much energy to maintain your friendship. In a perfect world, even if you don't meet each other for months or even years, you can just catch up and get back to your friendship rhythm in the first few minutes of your reminiscence. Unfortunately, we are not living in a perfect world, and some friendship actually requires extra effort to maintain. If they are worth it, sure, give your best. But if they're not, perhaps it's time to let go, especially when your friendship has become toxic. There's no harm in cutting ties if it means giving yourself a better life. The fact is, people do come and go. Though it hurts, you have to face the fact that some people just can't be in our lives forever, no matter how hard you try to keep them around. Instead of mourning the loss, why not look around and find something or someone new to fill the void? Instead of holding on to something that hurts, why not let go so you can grab on to something new and perhaps better? Some people are meant to leave us, just like they were meant to enter our lives in the first place. That said, some friendships are worth keeping, especially if you've been through a lot together. But a true friend should also be willing to hold on to the memories and cherish your relationship no matter how far apart you are or how seldom you see each other. A true friend should not make you feel exhausted in keeping them around. So, are they your true friend, or have they already done their part in your life? Should you keep them around, or is it time to let them go? That is something you need to answer for yourself.